Hey, how you doing tonight? All hail the wandering trader. We're back to that again, huh? Good evening, good evening. So I think we're gonna start off here just by doing some easy maintenance, chopping up some trees. This guy literally getting in my way. Doing good. Glad you're doing good, man. I need to find out how much cobblestone and deep slate we have. Not a ton of cobblestone. Decent amount of deep slate. I think we need to do our starter house today. Living in this cramped space. I think I can only take it for so much longer. I'm thinking we put that right down here. But I'm going to need some resources to do that. So maybe make another axe, because I would also like to get some spruce wood today. Let's go see if we can grab some of that from up here. And hopefully not fall in any powdered snow. Time to go exploring in the cave? Okay. We will get there. That is on the goal today. I'd like to get some spruce and some spruce saplings first. We can grow us a big tree while we're caving. An example of what happens in powdered snow. I'm sure I will demonstrate that at some point. Probably not intentionally. seeing any right around in here, so that's good. We're gonna have to break this, aren't we? Alright, that might do. All we really need is 3 more, and then we can start replanting. The snow is your favorite biome. Okay, that's fair. I think my favorite biome, not to take the easy answer, but I think my favorite biome would have to be the new mangrove swamp. It's pretty awesome. But before that was introduced, I'd have to say either the Crimson Forest or the Warped Forest in the Nether. Both of those are also very cool. And there we go, got our 4. Let's go home. The other 2 on 1 bone each time. Let's see if we can get a 3rd one the same way. That's 3 for 3. Couldn't do it any better if I tried. Okay. Wait, let's see if we have enough to make some more torches. Yeah, let's do that. Always takes you more than 1 bone. Yeah, I'd have to say I'm getting pretty lucky. What's the typical tame rate? I don't know the numbers from the wiki. We could certainly go and look at that. For me, it's usually somewhere between 1 and 5 or 6, I would say is typical. But I always say 1 is typical because I've seen so many people get that. I've happened to be very lucky here. Okay, once this finishes, here's what we're gonna do. We need to do the starter house. I have an idea for some of the resources I'd like to use in mind. I'm a pretty 2012 kind of Minecraft guy, so I like the whole oak and cobblestone, but I think we're gonna try and change that up a little bit and do some spruce mixed in with some cobblestone and hopefully some deep slate. So what I'm gonna try and do is spend about half of our next mining trip just picking up a bunch of extra cobblestone, and then we'll go back down into the cave that we found last time that had deep dark listed as the biome, and we'll try and gather up a bit more deep slate. Maybe we run into some adventures, and that'll be what we work on. And then once we have our resources, then we'll talk about what kind of house we're gonna build. It's a big house with lots and lots of... Are you trying to DMCA the stream here? Is that what you're going for? Let's do one here, I guess. There. Yep. Smooth. Wonder if I did that. I think this shape could use some work. Maybe we try and come back with like a fence line to try and tame the shape a little bit. Maybe that'll help it feel a bit more organized, because I don't think this is quite what I had in mind when I did it. We got 12 wheat. Let's go ahead and use that to feed our cows. Let's go ahead and make some more charcoal. And we'll put our shears away for now. Keep filling up my inventory with junk. Okay. That'll do for now. I keep running over to this like this is gonna be the spot that we go down. And it isn't. Me using coal as fuel is stressing you out. Well, that's why I'm making this. Surprise, what doesn't stress you out is this path down here. So why did I choose that shape for planting? So what I was going for is a bit more of a, I guess I would say, like a more organic feel instead of the whole place the water source down in the middle and then do 4 blocks out from the side on each side and do a square. And I think that what I kind of ended up doing was just throwing wheat on the ground around water sources still, instead of maybe making a shape first and then making it fit. So I'm not thrilled with how it looks at the moment. I'd like to go back and give it a different shot. I'm totally open to ideas on how to do that if you have them. Okay, so this is 0. What I'd like to do is go to 16 figures right where I put that torch. I couldn't have done that any better if I tried. Okay. Seeing some skeleton rattles pop up here. I wouldn't mind if we found ourselves an abandoned mineshaft. Could be a good way to get some more iron. Now I may have lost count here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yep. You know what just occurred to me? Can you guys hear any music? Because I sure can't. So, that's a drop. Repeat the question, please. Can you guys hear any music? That is a deep dark if I've ever seen one. Look at all those shriekers down there. So, cool story. We're gonna go this way. Yes, you hear the music. That's interesting. I actually can't hear any. Well, as long as you guys can hear it, that's all that matters. Yeah, a great find. Yes, maybe not for what I wanted to do today, but definitely a great find. Why 16? Okay. I think I'm also hearing some lava. Interesting. I was right. We're hearing lava. We have a friend already. This feels like drop creeper territory. We're gonna drop this into this slot. Let's see if we can find a safe way to traverse this, at least. Yep, skeleton over there for sure. There's a lot of iron in here, so that's a great thing. I am going to want some of this gravel as well. Can't believe I found an ancient ruin already. So I don't know if it's an ancient ruin yet, I just know it's deep dark. And those two don't necessarily have to be the same thing. But it is quite possible that there is an ancient ruin or an ancient city down there. Yep. We dug right into it the last time around. And you had to travel about 5,000 blocks to find one? Yeah, I've heard that they're more common or most common under the mountain biome. And seeing as how we're pretty close to some mountains and in the meadow biome, it makes sense that there's one here. But yeah, they can be pretty hard to find just tunneling. Hopefully we'll be able to make use of some of this gravel today. Have I found villagers yet? No, I have not, but I also haven't really looked very hard for them either. Now, is there a safe way to get over here? Not quite. Did I bring my water bucket? I did, but I'd really like to pick up that lava if I could. What I really need to be mindful of is where I came in at. So we're just gonna do this. Make extra certain that we know where we came from. Do you guys see what I see right there? I see some creeper toes. Yep. I think we better do this. Add that to my goals. They will definitely be a goal. Okay, that was effective. Here's our friend. What I'd really like to find is some dripstone. shouldn't just be jumping over gaps that carelessly right now. But what the heck, we like to live on the edge, right? My volume is a little low. What part of the volume is low? My voice. Okay. Yeah. Let's do this. Let me see if I can do that for you guys real quick. And while we're at it, let's see if I can fix the music for myself too. Okay, so I've gone ahead and turned up the mic a little bit. How's that sound? Sound better? Gold. Yeah, that's a lot better. Okay, good. Oh, would you look at that? There's more deep dark right there. I guess we really don't have a choice but to run into this today. Okay. Mm-hmm. Yep. That's about right. I guess he had the high ground. Gotta love creepers. Yeah. I mean, I'm gonna go out on a limb and say you don't have to. Well, since we're being confronted by this deep dark on multiple phases, let's explore a little since we're here. I'm so gonna die. I don't... So I think I see a sensor. I'm not seeing any shriekers in the immediate vicinity. So I'm going to risk placing a torch. Okay. Yeah, finding a spawner, I would like to find one. Okay, cool. There's the Sneak 100 advancement. That's pretty awesome. Man, I can't see anything over there. Now, I don't have Silk Touch or anything. Still pretty early. So when I mine this, it's just going to break. Why am I being careful placing torches? So, this block that we're looking at right here, I'll even zoom in on it for you. This is what's known as a Skulk Sensor. Sensors pick up any kind of vibration that occurs within a certain radius around the sensor. And when that vibration occurs, like jumping up and down, you can see there's a little particle that emits from where the vibration took place and activates that sensor. So even something like placing a torch like this activates that sensor. Now, activating this sensor as it is isn't such a big deal because that's not what spawns the warden. There's another block that will spawn in these skulk areas like this called shriekers. They're the ones that make the noise. but they are activated by sensors. So when you're within range of a sensor, you want to be very careful the amount of vibration that you're creating so as to not activate them, activating a shrieker. So we're just going to do the safe thing here, and we're going to break that. Now, you'll notice that I got XP. If I would have had Silk Touch, I could have obtained that block. Can I just take out the sensor? So in this instance, the answer is yes. But if there had been another sensor in the area, it would have detected me taking out that first sensor. So you have to be careful where things will chain to. So right now I'm not seeing another sensor in the area. Well, that looks like one hiding around the corner right there. So right here, I should be outside the range of this sensor, and if I jump up and down, it's not activating. But if I get closer, it will. Now, I see two sensors over there, I believe. I'm not sure that I see a shrieker. So we're going to risk placing down another torch. Oh. We saw two. I did not see this third one, so you notice how that one torch either activated all three or activated them in a chain. This is why you have to be careful. Now, to your point earlier, can you just take out the sensor? Watch what happens if I take this one out. Let's see if these two decide to activate. And they did. Again, sensors being here is not a problem. It's the shriekers that will, once you've activated the shrieker, I believe 4 times. So you get 3 strikes, and on the 4th strike, the warden will appear. That is where your problem is. That's Lapis hiding behind those veins. That's cool. So I've got 4 more torches here. With these sensors being here, I'm okay to ease up a little. And you'll kind of see where the range of these are. So see, I'd say maybe I'm about 10 blocks from here. But if I just walk and I get closer, now we're activating one. And if I jump, now we're activating both. Yep, and it looks like... Oh! Now let me tell you, that's not what you want to do. So I don't know if you guys caught that, but I placed a torch right here. There's nothing in line of sight, but that vibration particle passed through these blocks, and I bet you there is a sensor and a shrieker chilling right behind these blocks. We are now on strike 1, and that is unfortunate because I see diamonds. I'm not sure that that diamond is worth it. So, bye. So, we're just gonna pretend like that didn't happen. And we're gonna get out of here. Okay, so that was a cool experiment. Not one I'd like to do again, if I'm honest. And that totally sidetracked us from getting cobblestone. wise move, retreating. So I don't mind taking chances here. Uh, I've got a fair bit of iron and lapis, so I'd rather not take chances just yet. I do have some sheep up top, so we could definitely bring some wool back down here, try occluding that wall and moving forward. So I don't think those diamonds are completely out of reach, but they are out of reach for right now. And this really didn't get me any closer to getting any cobblestone. I mean, I guess I got some. But the fact that that continues down through here is kind of insane. So we're just going back up. I think we're going to go back to the surface with what we have. We might load up on some more torches and come down for another trip. Okay. That's enough terror for one day. Is it daytime or nighttime? Looks like it's getting to be nighttime. Let's put all these away. Put this away. Here, here. I think I've got dirt in the chest up here. Do I want to take any guesses on the score between Boston and Toronto tonight in baseball? Sure. I'll take a guess. Let's say 4-1 Boston. At least I have easy access to snowballs when you do trigger the warden. Good point. I do have pretty easy access to those. I've already got some stocked up. I should probably consider bringing those along. Strike one, huh? I'm guessing that means that means I wasn't correct, huh? Alright. While we're up here, let's do a little bit of maintenance. You're wait. Toronto scored 28 runs in a single game. Is that what you're telling me right now? Yes, Toronto also hit an inside the park grand slam. So this then begs the question, was that a record for like most runs scored in a single game? Extremely close. The record is 30. Yeah, that's crazy. Good, we're starting to stock up on some sugarcane now. That's good, that's good. Hi, friend. You probably got out, didn't you? I think we really need to step it up. We need to get a starter house going. We've got a decent amount of wheat too. Let's chop down some of this spruce. But we gotta get a starter house going. Hopefully my 2 stone axes make it through this whole tree. I'm getting the impression that you're not a Boston fan, huh? So along those same lines, you're saying it wasn't a record, it was extremely close, and that the record was 30. So tell me more about that. Who set the record? When was it set? Starting to wonder if this axe is going to get me back down. Google is my friend. Yeah, they sure are. Okay. That should net us a decent amount of saplings. Or maybe you're my friend? I mean, I was hoping you would get the hint. Record was set by the Texas Rangers in 2007 with 30 runs. And that's wild. It's pretty cool, though. This is a good amount of spruce to start with, I think. And we might end up needing literally all of this cobble, so we might have to go back and get more. So that was only the 20th game in MLB history since 1900 that the team has scored 25 plus runs in a single game. Cool. Alright, while we wait for some more saplings to fall, let's take out this little plot of dirt right here. We're going to do every Minecrafter's favorite thing to do. Touch grass. Yeah. This ought to be a good enough space for this. It's looking pretty good. So now what I'm going to do, I'll plant a tree right there. We'll plant a tree right there. Okay. ESPN Minecraft, the crossover you didn't know you needed until now. Sure. We'll go with sure on that one. Okay. So let's go ahead and get some kind of a framework going here. Even with my messy inventory. Now, I am not very good at Minecraft roofs. So, I'm going to show you guys a little trick that I use here. So we've got ourselves a mod installed called Lightmatica. And so what this allows us to do is pick from a set of what they call schematics. And if I go into my 119 folder here, I go into my roofs folder, I've got myself a set of roofs that a lot of people have probably made buildings out of. Found several of these on Instagram posts, on Twitter posts, and what I've done is I've just taken the concept and saved it to a schematic. So if we wanted to go with something like maybe a gable style roof, I'm going to go ahead and say load. Then I'm going to look at my loaded schematics and I'm going to create a placement, which it actually may have already done. Yep, it did. And so now I can get the idea of what the shape of the roof is going to look like, which also helps dictate the shape of the building. Now, Lightmatica has some pretty cool features to it. It can also allow you to pretty easy place blocks straight out of your inventory. You just click and it will pull them and put them in the right spots. We're not going to use that aspect of that. I like to use Lightmatica to kind of get a shape down, to get an idea down, and then actually gather and place, and build the blocks kind of myself. So now I think at this point we're just going to try and choose what might look good for a roof. I'm not sure that I really like this full-size gable for a starter house, so maybe what we do is we unload. Maybe we try the lower pitch. Let me take a look at this one. So this is obviously kind of the same style, but you'll notice it's a bit wider, but it's also a bit smaller. So if we kind of move this to say, I don't know, let's move this to right here. Obviously, we're not going to build this kind of hanging off the side or anything, but maybe we can do something like this right here. Now what I'd like to do is maybe we'll start, let's start here. And so what we'll do is we'll say, okay, this is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Yes, 11. So we'll say that this is 11 blocks long. So I'm going to see if I can't add in a bunch of event markers because the hotkey is the same. Amazing. So we'll look here. And maybe what we'll do is we'll just turn the rendering off. 1, 2, 3, 1. So maybe this ends up being the shape of what we decide to go with. And maybe we'll make the house come to right here. And we'll kind of map this out. And actually what we might do is actually bring this a couple back. And that's just so that we can bring this a couple forward. Hopefully I line that up. Yep, sure, looks like I did. This is kind of a tiny bit of a drop here that I don't want to deal with. So I think this makes sense. So what I'm going to do is now, just to make sure that I've kind of counted and lined up the proportions correctly, what we're going to do is we're going to go back in and turn our placement on. And we're going to move this. We're going to say, move this here. And let's see, it looks like we're looking at -30. Or this is probably, we'll say -79, -30. Yeah, that seems about right. So let's go back in. Okay, so maybe we'll shift this over just a little bit more. And yeah, it looks like we counted mostly correct. Now, obviously the schematic here is showing red. That's because the schematic was made with cobblestone, and I've placed spruce down, so the schematic isn't a fan, but that's okay. We don't need to do the exact blocks that were placed. Remember, we're just using this as a shape, as a way to help guide the way that we're going to do the building here. And ideally, I'd probably like to have the door, on this side. And so maybe we put a door in the corner. We do something like this is probably fine. And now what we're going to need to do is, I'd like to go ahead and try and create the roof shape a bit. So we're going to put down one whole side of this. That color is bothering me, so we're going to do that. And I think what I'm going to do is we're going to do cobblestone on at least the first 2 layers, we're going to try and change that from cobblestone into regular stone up top here. And this is where using something like the spruce stairs and spruce slabs is going to come in instead of, the oak that we see here. So I'm going to go ahead and turn that rendering off for now. And let's just start placing down some cobblestone and see what it looks like. Should mix in the cobble and regular stone at random? Well, that's somewhat what we'll be doing here. But the idea is I want this to kind of fade up to the top in a certain pattern. Let's get some more of this out of the way. Maybe we can come back and replant some of these flowers. Okay, so we've got that going. And now this layer is probably where I'm going to do cobble. Like we'll do cobble here. And maybe we'll break it up like this. Hopefully I did not just create a symmetrical pattern. Kinda did. That's annoying. So we'll take this block out and do something like this. Let me go grab that stone that we have, and maybe we'll grab some gravel and see how that looks too. Let's go ahead and turn that off. Get some dirt on our hotbar so we can pillar a bit. Put the dirt there, and let's put the stone there. We'll kind of fade the gravel up like this. And then we'll put the stone in. Oh, that's a problem. Can't misplace these blocks right now. Gravel thumbs down, he says. Why the thumbs down? Let's go sleep. Just not a fan of gravel? Why not? Ooh, that is a lot. That's a lot of text on the screen, isn't it? Let me, I'm gonna go ahead and clear that. Yeah. So by the way, if you guys didn't know, if your chat is kind of busy like this, if you hold down the F3 key and hit D, that will clear the chat. I'll just clean up the spam that we had from earlier. It's coarse and it's rough and it gets everywhere. No, that's sand. Okay. It's not gravel. Yeah. So we're only going to do a little bit of the gravel, so don't worry. Because I want this to be mostly stone going up like this. So if we, again, remove this, see, here's going to be what the, well, now that's the general shape that we're going for. The gravel is only there to provide a little bit of go-between between the cobble and the stone directly. So we don't want a lot of it, but we want just a little bit. Now we could also bridge the gap between gravel and cobblestone to stone with andesite. So we could do that. But as we'll see right here, I've got one andesite block. Now I think we can craft it. We can. So we could take cobble and diorite and get some andesite. So maybe what we'll do, yeah, let's just go ahead and try that. Let's take 16. And that'll get us 32. So let's try that instead of the gravel, huh? Andesite thumbs up? Okay. Alright. Diorite, major thumbs up. Now we might have a little bit of a problem, because I am not a diorite fan. But there's your andesite. So you guys tell me, what'd you like better? Did you like the gravel there, or do you like the andesite there better? You think the gravel looked better? Well, we can certainly switch it back. Let's do that. Oh no. Okay. Andesite would look even better though. I think I see what's going on here. So I think then the answer has to be, because you're not a fan of the gravel, we're just going to leave the gravel in since you got me to do it. That sound fine? Sounds fine with me anyways. So that doesn't seem terrible, but we probably want to keep things consistent. So this layer, this top layer right here, needs to start to be stone. So let's fix that. Now, how dumb was that? Very is what you should say. And I think we actually want to leave the corners. If we gotta smelt a little more, we can smelt a little more. Okay, let's do this again on the back here. Andesite would break up the dullness of the gray. We'll see. I think you might have pushed your luck a little too far there, my friend. So now we're sticking with gravel. Yeah, we're sticking with gravel. I don't think I'm doing a very good job of random here. See how that looks. Okay, I like that a little better. Okay, so that's all of our sides kind of built up. Now before something crazy happens in here, we're gonna do this. I'll tip you $1 to put it in one random block of andesite on one of the walls and keep it there permanently. Yeah, but if I do it randomly while you're watching, that doesn't make it as fun. And shoot, I'll do that if it's gonna cause you to look for it. I'll just do that on my own. No problem. Alright, now let's see if we can match up our pattern here correctly. We should be able to come one here, perfect. Awesome. So this is what it's looking like so far. Looks weird because there's no roof, but that's okay. That is okay. So let's go ahead and start putting that in. I'm gonna grab... I was thinking I had an extra crafting table, but it looks like I don't, so we're gonna make one. We're gonna bring it down there. And I think what I'm also going to want did I make one yet? It does not look like it. I think I can make one now. Sure can. Let's grab ourselves a stone cutter. And let's grab some cobblestone. Okay. So here's what I'm thinking we do. Instead of going with wood for the entirety of the stairs, wow. Instead of going with wood for the entirety of the roof, we are going to do an outline of the roof, and that outline I think we're going to do in deep slate, and then the center portion of the roof we're going to do in spruce and see how that looks. And maybe that'll help us bridge the gap here. So obviously what we're looking at here is we're looking at slabs, and then blocks, slabs, blocks, slabs, blocks, slabs is kind of the pattern that we're going for. Let's go get ourselves a good sleep, and then we'll start. Before we do, can we get lucky and see a spider spawn out here? Build in the dark makes it more fun. Well, it may make it more fun. I'm not sure how much you're going to see of it, though. Now, I'm really hoping a spider will spawn, because I'd like to get at least... Oh, perfect, there's 3. What I'd like to do is get some string, and then we can make ourselves a bundle. And we can try out the bundle mechanics and see if that helps us with our inventory at all. But we gotta hope at least one of these guys stays, and that one of these guys drops string. Ow. Perfect. We got a string. Even better. Okay, they all drop string. This is some Minecraft luck. What is a bundle? Okay, good question. So a bundle, the concept at least of the bundle was introduced in 1.17, and it's meant to act as a way to help organize your inventory. However, bundles have not quite been implemented in survival just yet. They haven't quite figured out how to do that, and that's simply because the interaction that bundles take to fill something up. So you notice that I can left click on a bundle to hold it in my mouse cursor, but I can right click on an item in my inventory to put it in the bundle. And then I can right click on this again to take something out of the bundle. I can also pick up an item and not left click, but right click to put it in. So left click to pick up, right click to put in, left click, right click. And you'll notice that a bundle can only hold 64 items. And that is a total of 64 items. So right now I have 18 in there, and I can pick up the bundle and right click to take everything out. And if I put an entire cobblestone stack in there, this bundle is now full. So you may be asking, well then, how do you have this? Why would you have this? The reason that they haven't implemented these in full yet is because they haven't quite figured out how to make these work for console players and touchscreen Minecraft players. Obviously, they're doing a lot of work to try and make parity between the Java edition and Bedrock and console and all the other editions that are out there. And it's a weird workflow to try and right click and left click when all you have at your disposal is taps. Whether that's tapping or holding or double tapping, the workflow is just a bit strange. And because they haven't quite figured out how to bridge that gap yet, it's not been fully implemented. However, it is in the code for Minecraft. If you go into creative mode, you can give yourself a bundle, and you can even give yourself the recipe for the bundle so that you can make it. And so what people have done is they've created a data pack so that bundles can be available in survival, and that's what I'm using. It's really good for early game to kind of manage a large inventory of nonsense to kind of help you get through the early game before there are things like ender chests and shulker boxes. So let's see if I can build this correctly here. Okay, that looks good so far. There's not a block there. May look like there is, but there sure isn't. A little fall damage, yeah. For as long as I've been using White Matica, it still hasn't quite clicked in my brain yet that just because you see a block there does not mean that it is actually there. You think over time you have taken more fall damage or more creeper damage? Ooh, that's a really cool question. Now I'm actually I'm sitting here. I've just crossed my arms because I'm actually contemplating what that would be. You know, just because I believe I have probably died to creepers more often than I have to fall damage. I think I would have to say that I've taken more damage to creeper explosions. But I would almost imagine that the number is closer uh, than I might be thinking. I think we're gonna need more deep sleep. I think the donkey agrees. That's not what I wanted. I would bet fall just because it happens a lot. It's a good point. You could definitely be right. Plus no creeps, no creepers in the end or nether, but you can definitely fall in both. It's very true, but I would also have to imagine that your playtime in the nether and the end is much lower than in the overworld, so more chances for creeper damage. We're actually just gonna fill this in with a spruce log now. Cool. Yeah, so this is the outline that I was thinking of. We're gonna do this as well. I wonder how it counts damage if you die into the void. If that's fall damage, I'm definitely going fall. Also a good point. I believe... trying to think the last time I fell. Now see right there, right when I'm going to say it right there, when I fell through the void, or fell into the void. I'd almost imagine that would count as fall damage. But still. Here's another reason for why I think creeper damage would be more. In hard mode, which, if we take a look at this, you'll see difficulty's hard right here. In hard mode, in an unenchanted set of iron armor, a creeper can still one-shot you. Like, point blank range, their explosion can kill you. The fall height without feather falling that will kill a player, I think, is 24 blocks. If I put iron armor on, that 24 blocks gets much larger because the iron armor is protecting me to that fall damage. So I'm going to take less. But even in iron armor, the creeper damage is so high that it kills your player. It isn't until you get into diamond unenchanted armor on hard mode that a creeper explosion will not one-shot you, but it will still get very close. So while you may take more consistent amounts or smaller amounts of fall damage consistently, just dying to a couple of creepers early on in a world, I would bet makes that almost impossible to come back from. assuming, of course, you die to a creeper. If I go through this whole world not dying to a creeper, then yes, fall damage wins that. That brings up a good question then. Are you counting the excess damage a creeper delivers to kill or not? Do you mean like if the player had 200 health and the creeper does 250, am I factoring in that extra 50 points of damage? Is that what you're asking? This actually right here needs to be deep slate. No, it doesn't. It needs to be spruce. So let's see what that looks like. That's not spruce, that's dirt. Yeah, am I counting the extra 50? No. I would not count the extra 50 in that scenario. I would count however much damage it takes to actually kill the player. How did I miss that right there? So fall would be my answer, but I bet it's pretty close. Yeah, I would have to agree with you. I also think it would be pretty close. For me, it would definitely be fall because once I make it to the end, I like spending time there. Okay. Are you falling through the void that often? But you take a lot of fall damage there. Well, I guess if you, yeah, that's actually a good point. You're fighting shulkers who are knocking you up into the air, and if you fall without some kind of elytra or feather falling or something there, then yeah, that could add up. So if you're spending the majority of your time in the end, I would agree. Fall damage probably wins. Definitely do shulkers. Yep, I agree. Okay. Need to fix this block right here. See if we can get a higher view. You know what? I think that looks pretty decent. I definitely like the outline. I think this house is now missing two things. One, it needs some windows, so I think it's time to put some windows in. And two, I think it needs a chimney up top. So we're gonna need to figure out how to make one of those. We can grab not grab because I don't have silk touch, but we can make a campfire and put that up here. And I think that'll look really good. Obviously, we need to do some work on the interior, but that'll come. Let's do a big window right here. I'm not sure if I like the overhang on this or not. I'm not sure that I like the inconsistency either. Let's leave the overhang for now and see what happens. That'll be 2 in from this side, 2 in from this side. Obviously, I'm going to need some glass, I think, but I'm not going to put that in just yet so I can hold the gravel up there. Now let's see. I think we do another window right here, and then we mirror the windows on these sides. So one right here. And one right here. And of course that's going to make the gravel fall. So we'll just have to come back in and fix that. Because I would like 2 high windows here. How did I manage to space those out so that would happen? Incredible. So that's 4, 8, 12, 16, right? I'm not sure that I have 16 sand. I may not even have 1. Yep, I do not even have 1. Okay, so we're gonna have to go figure out what to do about that. I see what you're saying about campfires in the middle, but I don't know that I want them in the middle. I think if we do anything, the chimney's gotta come up pretty much right here. Yeah, that's what I was afraid of. So now I should be able to place, nope. here. Need bricks eventually for the chimney? I think that would be cool. Yep. This could be a little bit tricky. Let's go in and get our spruce. I love how bricks just hate how inaccessible they are in survival. I think 119 really helps you out, making them a lot more inaccessible. But I would agree that before this version, unless you had a bunch of masons that you could, work with, then yeah, it was definitely a bit more inaccessible, that's for sure. I like nether bricks too, but they can also be hard to acquire. Yep. So what if we did something like that? Is that the place that I wanted, though? Yes, that is exactly the place that I wanted. I think what we do is we do something like this. And it's not going to be enough. Yeah. Cool. Let's make a campfire. Got the logs here. Let's just grab some charcoal. Make it while we're up here. We gotta make sure that we place this correctly because I don't have the silk touch to pick it back up. Perfect. Yeah, I think that works. It might have been better to do walls and then do like a slab to place or full block to place it on instead of the full bricks, but I don't think that's bad. I think that works. We're gonna go with that. Let's clean up our inventory. I should really be putting dirt in here too. The uncooked pork chops in the chest with other food is bothering me. In the chest with other food. In here? So I have raw rabbit, and I have raw beef, and I have a raw mutton. Where'd you see the pork chop? Okay. We're gonna need doors. We're going to need glass. And we're going to need a floor as well. I do not know what I'm going to do for a floor in here. Haha, would you look at that all the way over there? I bet we can go get some sand from there. What time of day is it? We got time, I think. Hey. So this is facing negative Z, so we're going to be going positive Z to get there. I think we can find our way back. If not, well, it was a good base. I guess we'll be starting over. That's a trident. I might die here. No joke. The jump, yeah. Yeah, in hindsight, that jump may not have been super intelligent, but it worked. Just bridge over it with dirt. Yeah, you're definitely right. I can't believe neither one of them dropped leather. Since we have our bundle, let's make use of it. I think we said we needed 16, right? Okay, let's head back. And again, you have raw and cooked food together, and it's unsanitary. Well, thankfully... Huh, of course that would break my shovel. Thankfully, Minecraft doesn't care too much about those laws. Would it make you feel better if I did this? Don't give them any ideas. I bet they could. You're right. I bet they could. I don't think that's the intention or direction of their game. but I bet they could. So close. There's a lot of real-life similarities in the game. Yeah, similarities is definitely the word I would use there. Okay. Not too bad, not too bad. The reason why I have these foods in here uncooked, which I don't need these tools anymore, you can get rid of those, is I only like to cook them in multiples of 8. Which may sound weird, and that's most likely because it is. But multiples of 8 obviously means I'm using 1 piece of coal or 1 piece of charcoal for each multiple of 8. And because I'm trying to be very conservative on the coal and charcoal usage, I feel like that's the better play, especially because I mean I have plenty of food sitting right here. I don't have to worry about it. We'll go ahead and start storing some apples. I think for a floor, we're also going to do some spruce mixed in with some spruce logs. Let's make some more shovels while we're at it. 1.20 releases. Raw and cooked food together in inventory spoils cooked food, and eating the cooked now gives chance of giving you disease. I mean, I really hope not. That would be pretty problematic. Let's see what this looks like. Yeah, I'd say that looks pretty decent. Let's go ahead and make some doors. Yeah, I think that'll do. Before we do that, let's take out some of these. You have an idea? Okay, what's your idea? Alright, that's not looking too shabby. I'm gonna go heat up some leftovers. You yell at me when I come back after you've hidden the diorite somewhere. I don't think I'm gonna yell or anything. I mean, do you even know where the diorite is now? Now we could do full blocks here. Or we could do panes. So glass panes are full blocks. We can get a lot more for our blocks if we make panes out of them. And I think that's what we're gonna do. Yep, I think that's the right choice here. And of course I put the gravel away. Okay. So let's go get, what is that, like 4 pieces of gravel at least? I'm surprised this has not grown yet. Pressure plates for entrance, agreed. We will do that. Okay. I think this is shaping up to be pretty decent. I came up here for some... Yep. Came up here for this stuff. I don't have anywhere near the room to be traveling with this right now. So let's just move this a little bit at a time. I did say pressure plates, so let's just go ahead and make those before I forget. We're just gonna let those despawn. Okay. Gonna need to make another furnace, and I think our bed is gonna go right there. Let's get our pressure plates down. Perfect. Let's just go ahead and make another furnace. Okay, and I think we're gonna put a barrel right there, and we can start placing some chests down. Put these in here for now. That should have never been in there to begin with. House is looking good, thank you. I think so too, actually. Okay, I would actually like to make another barrel. Because I'd like to be able to make this for certain types of minerals and then another barrel for other types. Let's just go ahead and do that. Yep, I like that. So iron can start to go here. Gold can start to go there. Copper. Then we'll do redstone and lapis. And I think, what is this block right here? This is a slab. Awesome. So we can get away with this. So right now, this is kind of just my random chest, but man, it feels nice to have some space. We can start to organize things a bit more in here, and probably what we should do is bring these goofballs in. Yep, that's better. You know, it might also be better. Now they match the bed. Yep, I'm a fan. So we started here with literally a 9x9 box and a torch and an oak door straight into the side of a mountain to our starter house. We've got, you know, a little bit of sheep action going on here. We're gonna have to expand the pens. We've got some cow action going. We're gonna need to start really working on this pen specifically to get leather built up, since we're getting some sugarcane going. I think this farm, this wheat field, while the shape may not be exactly what I was after, it's definitely growing the crops well. So I'm happy about that. We got spruce, which is honestly just the best wood in the entire game, right? And then mangrove right after it. But spruce is definitely still the winner. So, did we build a starter house? Yes. I say yes, we did. Did we plant more? I say yes, not as much as I would have liked. Did we build bigger pens? Definitely a yes. Okay, no. No, we didn't. So, let's rethink some goals here. And let's move our goal board into our new home. So, let's put this right here by the door so we can't forget it. So I think in the next day, this can't be a question mark anymore. It needs to be a goal. Now, whether or not we just make bigger pens or we try and make like an actual enclosure, like a building or a barn of some kind around them, we can think about that. But we gotta get some bigger pens. I think we still need to keep planting. We need the wheat. And I think our next step has got to be so I think while the house looks good, I think the house could look better if the area around the house looked better. So I think what that means is maybe we start to take advantage of some leaves. Maybe we put like a little wheat farm just for decoration in the front here. We make a path, like a path that leads up to our wheat farm, a path that leads, to wherever we're going to put our pens. But I think that's what we got to focus on for next time. So that warden time sensor you set up earlier, is that permanently down to 3 more strikes and he shows up, or does that timer reset? So it is a 10-minute timer. So that should have cleared by now. And I should be back up to the maximum amount of strikes at this point. Obviously, that's something that we're going to have to go down and test. What I would like to be able to do is take down the wool that we have here in our chest and see if we can block off that one wall from picking up our sound, so we can at least get that diamond that we saw. That's going to be a really, really good start. But yes, it should have reset. We will find out when we go down there next. But yeah, I think that's where I'm gonna call it for tonight. It's been just a little over 2 hours. So I think I'm gonna go ahead and call the stream here. I am going to be streaming tomorrow night as well. Hopefully starting around the same time, which I think was around 11:30 Eastern Standard Time. So thank you for coming to watch. And DON983, thank you for the follow earlier. I saw that pop in before we started the stream, so thanks for dropping that. Yeah, I think, like I said, I think we'll wrap it up for now, and look forward to seeing you guys next time. So have a good rest of your evening, and I'll catch you later.